What's up, guys? Thanks for supporting what I do. These are the tools that are recommended. You can pause that if you need. Shouldn't need too many. While I'm disassembling this right here, I just want to let you know that mine's going to look a little bit different than yours probably does, since I already did these modifications. Unfortunately, I don't have a new one to restart from the beginning, but I'll do my best to explain it. The first part of this is going to be removing half of the plastic grills that are on the entrance of this filter. Don't do what I did by cutting out the very outside one. You're going to want to keep the outside bars, and then on the inside you can cut every other one. The point of that being, the new filter that you're going to be attaching has little tabs that go into the slot of the very outside, so you need something for those to grab onto. I did this by using these flush cutters, going at the bottom and top of each of the bars. After that, you can use a razor blade if you want. It's not necessary, but I used it to clean them up a little bit. For this part, you're going to need a thin flathead screwdriver. The thinner you can find one, the better, so it won't get jammed up in there. You're going to insert the screwdriver right in the hole there in between the front plate and that back clip or tab. Stick it in there far enough to where the tab will clear that front plate, because that's what's holding it in place. And after you get it wedged in there a little bit to separate the two, you can start pulling up on that back part. That plastic piece will come off. It's just clipped on the outside edge. Might take a little bit of wiggling to get it loose. From here, I'm just going to remove the nozzle and pull the pump out. Something I probably should have done in the beginning, but it doesn't really matter too much. Once you get the pump out, you can just reach inside, grab these baffles, and just slide them out. Make sure when you take these things out, you don't tilt the housing over too much, because these ceramic pieces of filter media in here will fall out, and it's kind of hard to get back in that little compartment. This is another part that's going to look different on mine than yours, since I've already done this modification. So just use mine as the end goal for yours. You're going to cut out these areas here, or Dremel them out preferably. If you don't have a Dremel, a file will work like the one I put in the beginning of the video. It might just take a little bit more time, but it'll be worth it. The point of this is to allow more water flow through, because all the water for your pump has to flow through these 4 vents right here. Kind of a bad design, which is the whole reason for this upgrade. So once you get these things through, you don't want to cut too much off on the top or bottom, because you need some of that support for the rest of the filter housing. But open them up as much as you can. Same will be done like you did on the front in the beginning, where you're going to cut out every other one of these metal bars these plastic bars that come through. Same thing, just for more water flow. The more water flow, the better. After you've got done with all the filing and dremeling, just to reinstall. Hopefully yours looks like mine. If you have any questions though, feel free to reach out. Ask me any questions. You got to make sure that this baffle lines back up with those slots in there that I just showed. And then you're just going to slide it back down. Again, make sure the ceramic filter media doesn't fall out of that tray, because it'll get stuck underneath the baffles and they won't be able to slide all the way back in. You should notice that right away though. Final part of this is reinstalling the pump. Putting the nozzle back on. And then this last clip, you don't need any tools. You'll just push it down into place. You'll feel it snap. I wiggle it a little bit up and down just to make sure it doesn't come off, because it'll fall into the bottom of your tank if it's not seated properly. And then your upgraded filter housing here can go right on the front, just like the original one did. You can put your filter back in the top if you have that. I don't usually run that anymore, just because it's restricting too much water flow, but you're all set to put it back in the tank. Reach out for any questions that you might have. Leave me a review if you like the install process and you're happy with the product, or just send me a message. Let me know how it's going. Thanks.